Performative meltdown on hissing, and now I'm just talking, and you're like, you're unhinged.
Ah, I'm back. I am back. Back with yet more drama. Oh my god, this day is giving. It is the gift that keeps on giving. Aren't you lucky? The gift that keeps on giving. This day, more drama with Deaf Noodles, Papa Gut. It's still going on. It is continuing. This fire is not dying out because Deaf Noodles is far too petty to just let it go. Let's get my receipts. Oh, hello. Bramley, what are you doing in my receipts bag? Have you shut in there? It stinks. You haven't you? You've shut in my receipts bag. Oh my god. I didn't bring you up to do that. I mean, I know you're only 4 days old, but I didn't bring you up to shit in my receipts bag, did I? No. Don't cry about it. Had enough of that child, I have. Anyway, let's get into this. Let's get into this Deaf Noodles drama. Oh my god. Deaf Noodles. So he said he wasn't going to post a YouTube video today, and he didn't. He didn't post a YouTube video, but what he did do was go on his podcast with his co-host, Deaf Noodles. Now, I know some people who watch me might not be into the Deaf Noodles drama, but I'm getting into this, you know, because this is just going on and on and on and running and running. I've already made 2 videos on this, but here we are again. Now, Deaf Noodles, in this clip that I'm about to play you, he was talking a lot about Papa Gut, saying that Papa Gut crying over his wife's essay was fake somehow, and also that Papa Gut is fake, that Papa Gut is essentially virtue signaling. Now, to my mind, this only seems like Deaf Noodles is saying all of this now because he has been called out for virtue signaling. His mask has slipped.
Mm-hmm. You're unhinged. Like, really? Like, that's such a fucking paradox. It's such a fucking paradox.
The fucking barometer and the measurement keeps switching from person to person.
It keeps changing.
Like the threshold switches. It changes depending on who you are.
They want him to be the right now. It's like the L and the W battle, so they want him to be like the victor. He's like
because he's the underdog. He looks like the underdog.
Well, he looks like the underdog, and he's also said,
"Is that offensive?" Oh, I look like an oh, now you said I look like an underdog.
Yeah. And
someone told me to commit suicide. You know, on Twitter the other day from all this shit.
I got a bunch of death threats in the last 2 days. I got so many fucking death threats.
So it's like, should I do the same thing that Papa did, right? So someone told me to commit suicide, knowing damn well there's been a high risk or a high case of suicide in the comedy community. Jack Knight just committed suicide off of Mulholland, right? Shot his head out. This dude's on fucking Bust Down. He's on Big Mouth. He's writing. He's successful, right?
Yeah.
Kills himself. So someone tells me to kill myself. Should I do the same thing? Get online, cry, talk about my friends that have died, and said that this person told me to kill myself? We should actually, tag the FBI or do something. Just like, that's because those are the steps that you guys are saying that we should take.
Essentially, they're like, in order to be a somebody said Papa Gut is a clout goblin. In order to be a clout goblin, that's what you got to do. That's how you get internet points, That's how you get the W. Go and use somebody else, weaponize somebody else's assault, and then go and cry about it on the internet. That's how you get famous, folks. I mean, here's the thing. As with everything, the mask eventually falls off. Right now, he's like the guy that all of his followers, all these people who are like against me, like they're like in love with him. They're like, he does stuff for like he supports victims or whatever. And like the mask eventually falls off. There's only so much that you can be that inauthentic and fake and performative and like cloud chasing and not have the real you slip out. We saw some of that yesterday in our conversation. Anybody who was objectively listening to our conversation without actually like looking to like, oh, I want Dennis to be got. Oh, he's deflecting or whatever. Like anybody who heard any of my points, especially the comparison when he admitted to laughing at a 14-year-old girl's trauma, he admitted to that. He fucking admitted to that just 3 months ago. He was laughing at it, but now all of a sudden he's a champion for trauma.
That shit don't make no sense.
Makes no fucking sense.
That shit don't make no sense.
So the mask will eventually slip, and just know that I said this. Okay, the mask will eventually slip, and it's not gonna be pretty, folks.
Nah, Def, we ain't buying this one. We are not buying this one, Def Noodles. Noodles, Catboy, we are not buying this one. No, we are not. Catboy, you need to just take the L. You need to know when you've lost and take the L. But no, instead he's continuing to talk about it like as if, you know, the whole internet didn't have a go at him on the Twitter spaces last night. You know, you had Adam McIntyre, you had several women who I don't know as creators, but they may well have been creators on YouTube. You know, you had other YouTubers on there. You had so many people who were telling Def Noodles his behavior is wrong, but here he is continuing to defend his behavior. I don't know how this man doesn't understand that what he did to Papa Gut was wrong, and that he himself, Def Noodles, has made videos calling people P words and all of this. And now he's saying that Papa Gut making videos, making content that is actually, you know, 2D platform actual P words and, you know, people who like little children, you know, Papa Gut makes actual content that is for that purpose. Deplatforming, you know, exposing, deplatforming those kinds of people, right? So Def Noodles wants to say that he's a comedy news channel, but he's also made a lot of videos which are calling out P words. So how are you going to say that you're a pop culture politics news channel when your content has also been about calling out P words? You know, Def Noodles has done it. He's done it plenty of times to James Charles. He's done it to other creators. You know, he did it so much about Shane Dawson, saying that Shane Dawson was a P word when Shane Dawson has no actual victims. You know, so I'm like, Def, you've lost, mate. You have lost. But he's not giving up. You know, he knows he's losing subscribers. He knows that he is bleeding subscribers. Def Noodles thought he was going to get away with coming for a smaller creator in coming for Papa Gut, and he is not getting away with it. You know, people are still holding him accountable. There were some people on this YouTube stream that he did today, this podcast, you know, live commenting and saying, oh, yeah, you know, we support you, Def, and stuff like that. There were a few people, but honestly, the amount of people in that Twitter space last night who didn't agree with Def's behavior, I think they far outweigh the people who do right now. You know, sorry, but I'm going to say it, Def, he just needs to stop at this point. He needs to realize that he can't categorize himself as a comedian. He needs to realize that, you know, that is not what his kind of body of work on YouTube has been, not comedy. Because no fucker's been laughing. Even when he had the cat ears on, you know, that wasn't especially funny to me back then, you know. But since then, since he stopped wearing the cat ears and being in the little Minecraft house, it's got even worse. He's not been funny, like, at all. And, you know, he talks a lot about politics and pop culture stuff, yes. But it's not funny. You know, the content is not funny. It's not entertaining. You know, he's not what he claims to be. I think we all know that. I think most of us can agree that Def Noodles is just really not fucking funny. And next, I'm going to talk about this with Shane Dawson. I actually saw this because Def Noodles posted it, funnily enough. I didn't know that Perez Hilton had Shane Dawson on his podcast. But now I'm like, damn, okay, so Shane Dawson recently went on a smaller creators podcast as well. It was an Australian guy. I don't know if I made a video about that at the time. I might have, but I know I listened to that podcast. But yeah, Shane Dawson has been on Perez Hilton's podcast, and he was talking about the whole 2020 cancellation once again. Now, I don't know why, but Shane seems to enjoy talking about this cancellation a lot. I don't know if I would if it was me, but Shane seems to enjoy talking about it. So he was talking about it, and he opened up to Perez and said that at one point he felt like unaliving himself.
You had been canceled before that. Why did this time feel different to you?
I mean, okay, there's two things. First thing, and I don't want to get too like woo-woo about it, but I really do think the universe and God and, you know, whatever really planned it this way, because I was at a point before I got canceled where I didn't want to be around anymore. Like I was so burnt out. I mean, you know.
Wait. Pause. You were so burnt out that you were depressed and suicidal just from overworking?
Well, it wasn't just overworking. I mean, I'm a workaholic, which I've
So
really,
am I.
yes. And you know how it is when like you do something and you're so proud of it, you're so excited, and then it's over, and then you think you're never going to do anything ever again. And then you start to look into the negative, and then everybody's mad at you for something. And then you haven't had time with your family because your fiance is like, we haven't had a moment in like 3 years. Like, where are you? And then you hate your body. And then it's like, it was just a collection of like boom, 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 boom. And it got to a point where, yeah, I mean, that's when I started therapy and for the eating disorder and all the other stuff. And oddly enough, 2 months after I started therapy, maybe even sooner, I got canceled. And it was like, oh, that felt very designed to me by something. Because I was like, okay, she's learning about everything, all my issues, all this, all that. And my biggest fear is being canceled again. And then it happens. So now I can like, see what the bigger purpose is. And I do, like, I'm so grateful to be where I am and like my family and life, and not just freaking out every fucking day about what am I going to make? What am I going to post? What am I going to do? How am I going to top it? Are people going to be mad? Like, it really was never ending.
Okay, so I think that Shane was talking about the whole Beautiful World of Jeffree Star documentary. The documentary that he did when he made the conspiracy palette. This one, the documentary that went along with that, where they literally showed, everything, the whole process of making the palette and, from like complete start to finish. I think that is what Shane is talking about when he says, oh, how am I going to top it? Because that project was really, really huge for Shane. Shane was massive anyway before that, like creator-wise, not size-wise, Shane, don't get it twisted, but Shane was huge on YouTube before that anyway. And he'd also done a previous collaboration with Jeffree too. Sorry, lipstick time. There we go. So he'd already done like one series with Jeffree Star, which had done well, which was like things like swapping lives with Jeffree for a day, where he would take Jeffree Star to like Walmart and shit, and like get Jeffree dressed in like Walmart clothes, where Jeffree would normally always be in like high-end designer stuff, all that kind of stuff. Oh, we're a little bit wonky here. Come on, there we go. That's better. Yeah, so Shane Dawson, he had that successful series with Jeffree Star, then the making of the Conspiracy Collection, which those things really, really blew up for him because he gained, I think, a new audience because he gained Jeffree Star's audience, of course, right? So he gained a whole new audience. The two of them together were this powerhouse thing. And I don't know, I think that a lot of people had, expectations of what Shane was going to do next. And they were like you said, how is he going to top it? How is he going to top it? I don't know, and the pressure of that. So Shane is constantly since then saying, oh, I'm grateful that I was cancelled. I'm grateful that I was cancelled. Is that because he thinks whatever he did next couldn't have lived up to the whole Jeffree Star series, the making of the Conspiracy Palette and all of that? I don't know, but it's interesting. It's interesting to think about. And Shane is a very creative person to me. He's very he always, I don't know, he's very creative, like the conspiracy content that he does. Things like The Haunted, what was it? The Haunted, where he went with Ryland. He went with his sister, his mum, and it was like, all these, what was it? Getting tongue-tied here. No, it was this, the bridge one. Like, stuff like that he does. I'm into that. That is exciting content for me because where they were going under that bridge and, they were hearing things, seeing things that they thought were ghosts and all this stuff. That to me is good content, right? And also he's done other conspiracy stuff that I've watched, that I've enjoyed. Shane Dawson, conspiracy content, and then all the stuff like the Jeffree Star content. That's all stuff that I've watched. I also watched the character kind of things that he did with Jake Paul, because to me that content was interesting. Trying to find out if Jake Paul was a sociopath. To me, that content was interesting. It kept me engaged. It kept my attention. And I think Shane, maybe, like you said, was like, oh God, what am I going to do next? And then had this massive freak out. But anyway, I'm going to stop this video right here. See you guys later, and I'll be back tomorrow with more content for you. Thank you so much for watching and tolerating my messy, annoying ass, and I will see you soon. Bye.